What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, baby? How you doing? I'm
I'm doing
good.
good.
I'm good. I'm as good as can be, considered I woke up about an hour and a half ago.
I've been up since like six, dude. I get up at like 5:30 or 6 every single day. And I have a
Yeah, I
I
do
walk
when
them
I got
dogs,
to, but
man.
shit, if I don't have to, if I ain't got someplace to be in the morning, it's hard for me to move.
I get up like I don't know. I'm weird. I've got this sleep schedule now that Stephanie's got like a teaching job and everything. Like, so I'm up at 5:36 every single day, even on days off. It's kind of a set schedule at this point. Get up,
Yeah,
walk the dogs, poop, work out, every single day, same schedule every morning. I kind of like it though.
yeah. No, it's nice to have a routine.
Yeah.
That's how you get shit done. That's how you get shit done is have a routine and just stay consistent.
Yeah, I feel healthier. Just I don't know if I'm getting old. I go to bed at like 10:30 every night. So, I don't know.
Old ass motherfucker.
I know. How's your 2024 bingo card going so far?
Oh my god, nah, I'm just, you know what? I'm withdrawing more and more from society and just focusing more and more on my life and what's right in front of me.
Dude, one I didn't think would happen on 2024. Like, I keep seeing the memes about the Miami aliens, but I had like one in my personal life happen that I thought was kind of weird. Like, me and Stephanie went to the DG like Monday. We're off, and we get home like it's early in the morning. We meet my crazy neighbor in a parking lot. She's like, "Hey guys, I got a date with a paraplegic tonight," and I'm just like, my brain just wasn't ready to maturely process that information at the current time at all. I just wasn't ready for it. I was like, how's that supposed to work? You gonna sit on him to have sex or something? I was like, does he look like Timmy on South Park? And then I was like, Timmy, and I started being retarded, and it was bad. But then later in the week, I see that Stephen Hawkins was at Epstein Island, and I see all the memes about that. And I'm like, is there a
Yeah.
fucking paraplegic, quadriplegic theme for my fucking week? I wasn't ready for that on the bingo card. It was just
well,
weird. I'm thinking
well,
way too much
I saw
about
something
that,
going.
dude. Way too much.
Dude, I saw something going around, and I don't know if it's real or fake. It almost seems like would have to be fake, but I hope it's not. That he wanted midgets to do complex math stuff on a chalkboard that was too high.
I saw
There's
that.
some shit.
I saw that meme. I didn't save or share that one, but I did see it.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
you gotta meme Stephen Hawkins at Epstein Island. That shit's just funny,
yes,
fucking
indeed,
hilarious.
dude. I like the whole Epstein thing is fucking weird. What's weird to me is people are like it went from this thing that totally didn't exist. That's all conspiracy theory to oh shit, and then back to it's conspiracy theory because nobody cares about it. Nobody, you really shouldn't care what perverted rich people that control the world do. Like okay, fucking people baffle me.
Yeah, fuck it. It ain't our problem. So, what else has
You
been
know what
going
though?
on?
It does remind me. You're talking about sex with paraplegic. It reminds me of
Yeah, I just wasn't ready to think about that at all this week. I didn't want to think. I don't know why it's a fucking thing this week. That's my
excuse me.
weird.
I got a little bit of a cough.
That's all right.
Well,
I'm allergic to Louisiana.
I had I had experience at a strip club many years ago when I was living a bit wilder, a little bit more wild and woolly. About 2007, 2008, and in Dallas at the time, there was a stripper who was getting kind of Dallas famous, local famous.
Right.
And she had one arm. She was missing an arm. And that was her claim to fame. And like I'd hear her on. I didn't know her at the time, but I would hear her on the radio and stuff. She'd do radio spots after this incident. I went to the club. I think it was the Clubhouse in Dallas, the Pantera strip club.
Yeah,
that was the strip club I spent most time in back then.
That's fucking hilarious.
And anyway, I went there once with a friend of mine. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and the A team was not out.
The what?
And it was we went there on a Tuesday.
Oh, it's a B team.
We went
maybe even a D.
Yeah, the A team was not out.
Gotcha.
And my friend, who is no longer an acquaintance of mine, no longer a friend of mine, but he was working in the oil field at the time, and he had a bunch of money, so he was trying to big man it. And there was hardly any girls there, and then there was this one arm stripper and another girl. And they were both nice girls. I'm not gonna talk shit about them, but they weren't. They were very wafy, not really my cup of tea.
You want a little thicker, a little sturdier, curvier.
Say what?
A little thicker, sturdier, curvier type women. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect them, but they.
Right.
If they hadn't had hair, I might have thought they were 10-year-old boys.
Right.
Not my bag.
Right.
Anyway, we were the only customers there, and they were the only dancers there, and so we got to talking. And my buddy, for some reason, drops in conversation that I had been in Iraq. And then the chick with one arm looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, what's it like to kill people?" "It's okay. I'm a mortuary student." I was like, "Oh, well, excuse me, that's the exact same thing." And then before we left, my buddy goes, "Be sure to give a lap dance for my buddy before we go." So then I got the most uncomfortable lap dance I've ever had from this perfectly sweet girl, one-arm stripper.
One-arm mortuary student stripper.
One-arm mortuary student stripper.
These characters for your books write themselves, dude.
They really do.
Just take that one.
Oh, dude.
Pitch you that one.
Dude, this gets better.
Okay.
And she's sitting there grinding on me, and she could tell that I'm not really into it. She lifts her nub up.
Oh, no.
And rubs it in my face.
Because that's gonna.
And there is a little flap of skin on the end of it, and it's just right there, just all over my, just like It was weird. It was surreal.
I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to unimagine that now. I really don't know what to say. It's a lot to process.
I have nightmares about it sometimes still.
Yeah, see, the one.
What you drinking on?
Oh, me? Well, I mean, it isn't the Guinness podcast, so I got some Guinness.
Guinness. I'm drinking coffee with some bourbon and some chocolate zero sugar muscle milk. Also got a big glass of water here.
Yeah, I've been chilling. Drink a couple Guinnesses. Chill afternoon.
So, what are we going to talk about?
I don't know. We can talk about guns and stuff if you want to.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah. Okay, let's.
Hey, check out what I got by the desk. Got that baby Drake.
You there?
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yeah. There was a stall there. There was
a
weird
sorry.
flag.
It may have been Mike. Got that baby Drake. I found the.
You got that baby Drake, huh?
Yeah, I found that 40-round extendo. I was digging in my closet, cleaning it up today. Now it looks right.
Oh, that's nice. I used to talk mad shit on those guns when they first came out because I thought they were stupid. I wish I had a couple now.
I like the mid size one. That's the mini, the micro Draco, not the mini, but it's not the regular one.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of half. It's in between. It's still small. The problem, a lot of problems. People don't understand these guns or whatever. One of the problems with them, if you look right here where this muzzle brake goes on, and then you've got this janky front sight gas block. Well, that front sight gas block is usually not milled true. And so whenever you try to put a suppressor, you put a brake on one of these for a suppressor, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to line up. If you stick a line-up bar in it, it's going to be crooked and it's going to blow your blast baffles out. So usually to be able to put a suppressor on these, you usually have to face off that gas block so you've got a good shoulder on them. The same thing.
Oh, fascinating.
Are you familiar with the Ruger, like the Gunsight Scout rifle, like the Mini 14?
Yeah.
So they've got a front,
I'm not familiar with their.
Well, they have a front sight block on them. That's a block, and then the barrels are threaded to that block, or they're threaded and then they put the block on. But those blocks are like cast, and so you run into the same issue on those guns. You got to take those blocks off, make sure the front of them's flat. Then you can put an actual brake on them or suppressor or whatever. So, sorry, random.
You know what I've been playing with?
Nerd out knowledge on these things. I actually picked this.
I've been playing with.
I picked this thing up before they did the Amnesty SBR stuff, and I was actually going to SBR it, but I didn't. I'm just kind of holding it. I might SBR it in the future, put it on a trust or something, but I don't know. Anyway, I got it. So. They're fun. But what are you playing
right
with?
now, my new favorite thing. My new favorite thing in the world is this Sigma 6. I think it's Sigma 6. I can't see if I can get I need a flashlight handy. Is that Sigma 6? No, what the fuck is it? Beta 6, I think.
Like a new speed loader?
I might have to move my. Yeah, it's Oh, I can't.
I see what you're doing. I see what it is. You just push it in and then peel them.
Yeah. You push it in. You just push it in. Oh fuck! Now I'm gonna go. To give an example, and I'm gonna fuck it up.
What desk?
Where'd it go, Seth?
What is that? A 2-inch 66 or something?
Yes. Oh, that's the problem. I'm trying to stuff the J frame into the K frame. That's brilliant, Seth. That is fucking brilliant. Well, I don't know. I would have to go through my fucking pile of shit here off camera to find it. Or I have to go get the J frame out of the safe.
As a writer, what's your chosen?
And I'm not going to do that.
As a writer, what's your chosen desk gun?
Oh, that's usually whatever I'm carrying that day. I got my Browning over on one of the shelves above my bed.
High power?
Yeah, Browning high power. It's a 1967 or 8 model, Argentine. It was made in Belgium, but shipped to the Buenos Aires police.
I've just been keeping like.
I'll get it here in a second.
I don't even keep
show that off, I guess.
I don't even keep a gun on my desk. I keep a couple ARs around. So,
yeah, dude, there's too many young kids running around this house most of the time, and I'm fucking lazy, so I just keep I just keep everything that's not on me, or that I'm not immediately.
I'm totally hear you, dude. My kids are finally to that age. Well, I don't worry about my kids. I worry about other people's kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Because my kids have grown up with guns everywhere. I've seen my kids fuss on other kids for touching guns, but
I'm not that worried about it. I'm just paranoid.
I'm at that other end of the spectrum where I have teenagers. I got a 16-year-old, an 11-year-old. I got my 18-year-old daughter, and then my 18-year-old daughter's best friend living here, and then I've got a 21-year-old son living here. And so upstairs, my boys' room is like it's a fucking arsenal up there. My daughter's got a couple of guns in her room, so yeah, my boys.
As she should.
Yeah, I ain't worried about them. Like they got a like a balcony door upstairs that overlooks the living room and the front door and everything. So if there's ever any trouble, whoever comes through that front door is kind of fucked. Because they're just
there. I just found it.
They got AR-15s and AKs and combat shotguns, all kinds of shit up there.
Oh.
My oldest son, he's into cool stuff though. He likes he's got a lot of modern stuff and everything. I mean, he carries like a 43X. He's got Glocks and shit, but he's also got like, you know, a Caplock pirate pistol, and he's got, you know, a 94 30-30 Centennial or whatever, and he's got a 3-screw Super Blackhawk. He buys like old school cowboy type collectibles and shit. Kind of getting into that.
Mm-hmm.
Got a Smith Model 10, and he keeps looking at black powder revolvers and stuff. He likes stuff like that, cool stuff.
So I had to try to do some redemption here because I found the K-frame loader, and it is Zeta 6 K clip, and it's got the retention ring on it. And I think I like this a lot. I think this is useful. This is my new favorite revolver reload.
May have to check that out.
Oh yeah, and the retention rings are pretty useful too. I mean,
do they make an in-frame 44 one?
I don't know, but they should. I can't imagine it'd be hard to make. Man, I haven't had a 44 in so long, and I've still got ammo for it.
I don't have a Magnum right now. I've got 3 44 specials though. I've got a 3-screw old model Blackhawk that me and my dad built together. It looks kind of like a sleeper, but it has every custom feature there is on it. And it's just polished blued. It's got D.A. Clements engraved on top of the barrel. I made a pair of ivory micarta grips for it. It's beautiful. It'll like drop every bullet in one hole, like 50 yards. It's ridiculous.
You know, but
I also have a Jeff Quinn GP100, and then I've got the 2.5 inch or whatever, the snubby model 24 Smith.
Mm-hmm.
The Lou Horton, I got one of those. Super hard to find ones.
I've wanted one of those as long as I've been aware of them, and I'll go you one better. I would be happy to find an Astra Turbinator, which is sort of that we have the snub 44. We have the snub 44 at home.
Yeah, I haven't even shot the 24 yet. I don't know if I am going to shoot the Jeff Quinn gun.
Dude, well, it's like that Smith Model 19 right there. I love that gun. I used to have 2 of them, and the other one was nickel plated like that, and it had pearl grips, but it had a little bit more honest wear and stuff on it, so I didn't mind shooting it and carrying it and stuff. This motherfucker here is almost pristine, and I was gonna take it out and shoot it and try to do some training with it, with these. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I can. I'm at a place. I'm at a place in my life where I need to keep the investment as possible.
I hear you on that. I kind of look at it like I like shooting the Smiths. I'm not gonna. I've had a Smith collection before that I piled up, and then when I bought a house, I sold it all out, and then I've built up another Smith collection. And I just enjoy them, the pre-lock Smiths. I get when I find good deals on them. I'll buy every one I find, and I've ended up piling up another collection. But to me, they're fun guns. Take them out and shoot them a little bit, but I'm not going to run them through training classes or anything. If I was going to do that, can you hear me, or is it a delay?
Yeah, yeah. You were not there for a second.
Okay, I don't know if any of that fucking recorded. Anyway, I was talking about the Smith and Wessons. Where did you hear me stop?
But you had built up another collection.
Well, yeah, I built up another collection, but the way I look at them is I'm not taking them to training classes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot them a little bit, enjoy them, and have them for collecting value. But I don't want to put a whooping on them. If I need, I've actually thought about this. I've actually thought about going out and buying like 3 GP 100s and
Mhm.
357, 3 stainless ones, like a 6-inch, a 3, and a 4, and just using those as like the beater 357s.
Yeah, yeah.
Like tune them up and just shoot the fuck out of them and don't care.
Dude, you know what I want to do? I want to do
You know,
that with
I can't do that to my fucking, like, I'm not gonna do that to a 1965 Model 15 that's in excellent
no.
condition. You know,
Dude, I might look at fucking doing some of the new using one of the new Tauruses for something like that too. Taurus has come a long way, evidently.
I've had several of those come through. I'm kind of, I'm on the fence. I haven't like what
You're still waiting. You're still waiting. You think it's too good to be true?
I I've seen a lot of fucked up ones over a long period of time since like the
Yeah,
90s to today. You know,
yeah.
like I remember as a kid, I used to want that fucking 22, that Model 94 9-shot 22. They'd
Mhm.
always have a picture of it on the back of Shooting Times
Yeah,
magazine. I wanted that so bad
yeah.
as a kid. I'd be like, oh, that's so fun.
I
But they
I
suck,
had
you know. But
one of the first revolvers I had. In fact, the first revolver that I owned, my own money, was, and this was, of course, I'm pretty sure I had to use my own man to buy it, but was the 2 or 3 inch Rossi 357. It was like a Model 66 it was like the white trash steroid version of a Model 66,
what what
and that was shockingly one of the best guns I've ever had.
what
I
gun
mean, as much as I could judge that at the time,
what guns, and that would have been what, in the 90s?
that would have been the '90s.
What guns did everybody have pistol wise back then in your area,
Oh
East
well,
Texas?
that was
What was the most popular shit? I know in North Mississippi, North Alabama, I'm from Northeast Mississippi. Everybody had a fucking P85, P89, or a fucking Taurus 92. Everybody. Like those things,
uh
everybody had.
P89, P95, anything Ruger, Taurus, some the Taurus 92s,
Same shit.
uh, and every flavor of 1911 you could think of.
Yeah. Yeah, those are,
And
that's
then I wish I could go back to the '90s just for the days of cheap surplus Smith revolvers. Like what we had no idea how good we had it.
I actually picked up a Model 10 right when the pandemic started for 200 bucks
Oh, fuck you!
with
Nice,
a Venezuelan crest on it.
nice.
It's a little war, but it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. It's a unique one.
What's the? Do you remember the first gun you saw? You didn't necessarily touch. You could have seen it in a magazine because the one I'm thinking of was in a magazine. The first gun you saw that you thought was a work of art.
Ooh. Hmm. It's gonna be really stupid. What I used to think was cool when I was little. I remember going with my dad once, and he had a really good year working at the factory in like around 1985, and he bought a bunch of Browning rifles, and I went with him to buy a 1911 at Walmart. He bought a Colt government model at Walmart in Columbus, Mississippi. I remember
Yeah.
I remember us playing with it, looking at it in the car afterwards. Box stock government model, walnut stocks on it and everything. Um, but I remember the Walmart had just like racks of all these cool guns, and they had like a 12-inch barrel FIE 22 hanging up in there,
Oh, nice.
single action, total piece of shit. But I was like 6 years old, and it was gold plated, and I was like, that's kind of fucking cool. Why do they got this at Walmart?
Oh, for me, it was, I
I
can't
don't
even
know.
remember.
But I was also watching the A-Team. I thought like everything on the show was cool. I was, all that kind of stuff. And I'd already been shooting guns a little bit, so
I remember I was in the 6th grade, and I think it was Guns and Ammo, but it might have been one of the other big ones. I'm pretty sure it was Guns and Ammo, though. Ross Seafried had and I've shared the picture of it on my Facebook before. Ross Seafried had a custom, I think it was a number 5 or a version of a Keith number 5.
I got into that stuff later in the '80s. That was coming up.
But I'm not entirely sure because it's been so long since I looked at it. But each piece, each piece of the gun was made by some different artisan. The barrel was like color case hardened and I think squared off.
Now I doubt they color case the barrel. Probably the grip frame
Well,
or the
maybe the
cylinder.
group,
I'm
maybe it
sorry,
was
the cylinder frame. The cylinder frame.
maybe just the cylinder frame. But I think but the grips were like mammoth ivory with a scene of a saber-toothed tiger on one side and something else on the other. It was an absolutely beautiful fucking gun.
I used to make grips. Did I ever tell you about that?
So what?
I used to make grips, like single action revolver
Yeah,
grips. And
yeah,
I started when I was a teenager, in my dad's shop, and you remember Roy Fishpaw and all those other guys used to be the hot
yeah.
shit at the time period. I actually examined some grips they made, and I hate to sound like an asshole, but my shit was just as good or better than theirs. And I made about 35 pair, I guess, over the years, maybe roundabout, all custom shit, all kinds of materials. Made them out of ivory, laminates, micartas,
Well,
all
you ever
kinds of
think about going
wood and
back to
stuff.
that?
No, I can't. I hate making them. I always made them
Well,
by.
I mean, come on now. If you're gonna sit here and throw that out that they were just as good, you gotta put up or shut up, man.
No, just because it's like a bunch of people have asked me over the years, when are you gonna make grill? I'm like, I don't give a fuck about
Don't
making
puss
grill.
out now. Don't come in here cocking the walk and be like, bam, and then
My
then
my
leave
work,
us
I
unsatiated.
have personal guns with my own grips I made on them, and
I will now
they
have blue
are.
ball. I
I
will now
made
have
them to
blue.
fit my own hands. They're beautiful, but I am not going to fucking make grips for
I
other
will
people,
now
bro.
have blue balls forever until I have a pair of Dennis Clements
I've actually,
custom grips.
I've actually toyed with the idea of maybe like CNC routing them and get like a CNC router to do them, but I'm not doing it by hand, dude. It takes like 2 days to make a pair. Like that's a lot of sanding and filing. It's not fun. Plus, I have allergies. Like me and that career do not. That's not for me. Woodwork, I love doing it as a hobby, but I can only do it in batches.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. I'll be blowing out walnut dust, even with a respirator for like fucking week.
You know, one of the things that I've always wanted to do is have like a set of guns, a couple sets of guns that were they were good guns, but you take them, you get them engraved, you pimp them out, you barbecue them.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to take them to training classes and just beat the dog shit out of them.
All right, let's stop right there. I'll cut this part out. We're about to run out of Zoom time. I got like a 40-minute limit. And let me go take a leak, and then I'll send you a new link and we'll continue. Is that good for you?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, give me one.
How much time you need?
Give me like maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
That good for you? Give you a
Yeah, that's good for me.
little break, and then we'll swing right back into some gun talk.
Awesome.
Give me 1 second.
Boo, 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 boo.
And we're back after a brief break. So we were talking about barbecue guns. I mean, I look at my 44 Special, my 3-screw kind of is a barbecue gun. It's kind of a sleeper.
Yeah.
It's a I didn't get it color cased. I left the aluminum grip frame on it to keep it light. But I mean, has everything a barbecue gun would have on it in it. I mean, all 6 chambers in the cylinder. I personally line bored every one of them to the barrel myself. So when I reboard the 357 cylinder, like I used a collet screwed into the frame and run the reamer through there with the mill, and every one of them lines up. So every time you cock the hammer, that cylinder chamber lines up identically perfect with the barrel every single time.
Excellent. Nice.
So, and it's got a Packnor match grade 44 special barrel on it. I mean, it is a barbecue gun. It just doesn't look like one. It's not engraved. It's not fancy looking and everything. It's kind of like your sleeper.
You know what
It's a sleeper barbecue gun. I kind of like shit like that. You know,
guns. You know what I have always found aesthetically pleasing?
I like classy shit.
Remember back in the day, I think it was the 60s and 70s. I want to say it was the 70s more, but the power revolver days and competition where they had those big blocky barrels.
Like the 445 Super Mags, like the extended cylinder shit. 357 Maximum.
Well, I was thinking more of the big blocky barrels. With like, the ribs, with the full length ribs.
Oh, full length ribs and stuff. Yeah.
Let's see. But you know what I love? What I think is one of the most aesthetically pleasing setups is a Browning high power like this. This is the only Browning high power I currently own, which impresses me. But black pearl grips. Every time I buy a pair, I mean they're plastic Ajax or whatever, black pearl grips, they never last. They always crack. It annoys the fuck out of me. They're hard plastic grips. Why are they cracking? I need black pearl on this so it can perfect the 80s mercenary drug dealer look that I'm going for with it.
I'm actually currently in between high powers. I love them to death. I've had several. So anybody asks me, is like, you have a high power? I always say I'm in between high powers because I'm gonna get another one.
Dude, I won't.
But I'm actually looking at like everything on the market right now. All the imports, the Springfield shit. I'm looking at everything. The FNs, everything. I may get a couple. I think I'm gonna end up with a couple. Because
I think I've owned probably 5 versions of it so far. I've had
3, so you got me beat a little.
I want to check on the Gershons. I kind of want one of their.
The ones I've seen have looked decent.
Now, I want a detective version
or anything, but the ones I've seen have looked good.
I want a detective version, and I want a tactical version. But I don't want the detective version to be a tactical version. Maybe a plate for a red dot, because I got to get into red dots. I'm so far behind the fucking curve on that. But
we do red dot cuts, and I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm not. We use them in the shop like all the time, and I'm still not. I guess I haven't trained enough to get good with a red dot yet on a pistol.
Yeah.
I'm always playing find the dot.
Yeah.
You know? And I just need more training on it, and it's something I haven't taken the time to do. It's a personal problem, and but I have noticed though. I've had some 2011s. The what's that company out of Staccato? I had some Staccatos come through with red dots on them, and every time I pull one of those up, I don't have to look for the dot. It's like right there. Like It just feels right. Like those guns shoot really good too. I kind of want one.
Well, I haven't trained with it, so I don't know. But my understanding, you don't look for the dot, right? You're supposed to just stare at the fucking target, right?
Right. I think. I don't. Like I said, I'm not trained on it at all, so I no experience. Like the way I look at it is I don't claim to be an expert on anything I don't have experience in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've used the fuck out of them, but I'm not an expert with them yet, you know. So I don't have enough
Favorite,
experience to preach about them. But
favorite,
I use them all the time. You know.
favorite J-frame.
My favorite? I like just a basic 642 with no lock on it. Simple.
Solid basic one.
Just a 642 with no lock, dude. Like,
I like the Bodyguard. I like the various versions of the Bodyguard.
I like the
I like the
Bodyguard.
Humpback.
That would be second. I mean, that would be my second. But I don't care. It's a simple 642. No bullshit. I don't need scandium. I don't need the 357.
No.
I don't need the hammer to cock. Just the simple.
I tell you what I'm thinking about is next time I get a J-frame type revolver is a Ruger LCR in either like 327 or 22 Magnum.
I like
or 9mm if I can find it.
I actually kind of want to start fooling with the LCRs. I've had several come through and played with them, and for the money, for the weight, like they make a 20. I kind of want one of the 22 ones, like a snubby 22.
Yeah,
you know, and then one maybe a 38 or something. But they seem pretty cool. I like them. The ones I've shot and looked at and everything. Yeah, I put them right up there with a J-frame.
Have you ever fucked around with like the Liege uppers for the Mac 10s and 11s, the various Ingram models?
One of my coworkers, now that you mention it, yeah, we have a little bit. My coworker Graham, he's got a Mac. I guess it's the Mac 11 A1 transferable. So it's the small mini Mac in 380.
Yeah.
In 380. Yeah. We just did a machine gun shoot for my buddy Zach in Tennessee in October, and he brought the Mac up, and I got to shoot. I burned three mags through it. I didn't shoot it with the Liege, but I shot it in its conventional format, 380 with a big psionic suppressor on it and shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it had the suppressor. The cool thing about it, we had a rubber sleeve on it. It didn't heat up. Like, I burned a mag, and I'm like, this suppressor's not even hot. It made no sense. Usually, a suppressor's going to heat up after at least 3 or 4 rounds, minimum. It's going to be so hot. But yeah, the thing didn't heat up. You could get about maybe 4 bursts per 30 something round mag. 4 bursts per little wire stock. I liked it the way it was. So the conventional stuff. And then he's got a 5.56 upper for it, and he's got a 9mm upper for it. Both Leges. And the people in the firing line, I didn't get a chance because I was busy running the range, but the people in the firing line were shooting the fuck out of them. They were enjoying them, and they looked like they ran good to me.
Do you have any thoughts on the future on where the gun industry is headed right now, and also, what was the other thing I was going to ask? 3D printing and stuff like that. The sort of homegrown stuff.
So, clarify that question a little bit. Where the gun industry's heading right now and 3D printing, like
the gun industry, both legal and not to advocate or get into illegal shit, but the gun industry as we know it, and then the rise of 3D printing.
The cat's out of the bag with 3D printing, and you can't. It's one of those things that you just can't put it back up. Like, if we're going for the dystopian future, 3D printing is going to be part of it. They have genetic 3D printers already. So you look at the future, we're going to have AI, like bad actors get a hold of AI models and then somehow get a hold of genetic 3D printers and make diseases that kill certain races or some shit.
Yeah.
So you can't, the 3D printing thing is, That's just another part of the future that is out there and you can't handle in all sectors. And it's just going to keep expanding and expanding. They're going to be 3D. It's basically they're going to try to do replicators at this point. Be 3D printing spam.
Okay.
So
how about this? Shift gears.
They're going to
as a gun.
They're going to try. The government will probably try to regulate something at some point. Who knows where it'll go? So I don't know.
Okay. So as a gun guy and a guitar guy, do you have any guitar / gun analogies? Like, are there any guns that you feel are not, or any guitars you play out of your collection that you can compare to different guns? Does that make sense?
I could see that. Like, sometimes guitars fall into that category, like that black guitar. I guess it's probably on your right behind me. It's got black with gold furniture and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And that one,
close to the door.
Yeah, the one closest to the door. I bought that one. That's a ESP LTD EC1000, and I found it at Guitar Center. Played it a second. It sounded really good. It seemed like it was already set up and drop D. Brought it home. I paid those guitars go for like $1,100-$1,200. I paid $500 for that one. Just ever so slightly used, and almost like new condition. And it has become like my AK of guitars. Like I basically use it for everything. Those other two beside it both cost twice as much, but I use the black one more. It weighs probably a pound or two more than they do. It's heavier too. It's got Seymour Duncan JBs in it, and it's just good for everything. So it's kind of like a gun you would use for everything, like a shotgun.
Like a Glock 19?
Glock 19, 12-gauge shotgun, AK, like something basic, 22 rifle. It is the go-to. Just grab it and use it for whatever shit you need to use it for. It does it all, though. Like, I think at this point, I've got like 20-something guitars. I don't even really remember. I jumped back into the hobby pretty hard. What's behind?
I can tell.
What's behind me is overflow. So that's my. That's kind of. I had to put my guitar rack back up. I did used to have like a couple of speaker cabinets and shit behind me, but they're at my practice space right now. So I put the guitar rack back up for guitar overflow because I just didn't have anywhere to put these guitars and basses and stuff. And then I've got my Gibson over there too in the case, and a Epiphone RD in a case, and then I've got assorted rifles and overflow too on the guitar rack. That's new acquisitions, that's project guns, it's overflow, it's just odds and ends stuff, guns that I just don't have a place for. I mean, I guess that's a good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah.
In front of me, you can't see it with my camera, but I've got like a rack halfway around the room with guitars hanging. So I got a bunch more. We used to do band practice like right here. It was wild. Did that for a while. So you were asking me, where do I think the gun industry's going? Like,
yeah. How do you feel about you want to talk about old Wayne LaPierre finally being out?
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think everyone thinks it's a good thing. Like I watch a bunch of liberals on social media be like, yeah, finally on. And I'm like, you cannot possibly appreciate this more than we do, you ignorant fucks.
The way I look at it is the people that need to be in there need to be our age. Like, you know, we were already radicalized in the 90s.
Yes.
So it needs to be us motherfuckers. It needs to be a bunch of motherfuckers in there. Like pro-freedom motherfuckers is what we need.
Dude, think about how fucking bad it's going to get this election year.
I hope. I'm ready to sell some fucking guns, dude. I hope it fucking sucks. I hope they talk about gun control.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just
going to be a good year for the gun industry. People are going to make fucking money.
the way I look at it, dude. 2024
So what?
it's gonna be my year, dude.
But
It's gonna be great. You hear me?
no,
Connection go out. Can you hear me
yeah,
now?
I think.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there's a little reverb or whatever,
But you can hear me?
yes, sir.
Okay. So what are you saying? Seth?
I don't know. I don't know where we were.
Oh,
I was saying it's going to be a good year to sell guns, but I'm not looking forward to all the fucking anti-gun propaganda coming out. It's going to come out. I'm not looking forward to listening to fucking government talk about how we're all fucking terrorists.
yeah. I don't really even give a fuck about their shit anymore, dude.
That's the best way to be.
I'll be out of debt this year. And I'll be working on my plan to get money together to build a compound somewhere. I'm gonna buy a piece of property and build a compound and grow gardens and shit again, have chickens and shit, and I don't give a fuck about that bullshit.
That is the goal.
That's kind of my mentality on it. I'm not. So I mean, election years are great. I mean, time to stock up AR parts if you hadn't done it already. And,
Yeah.
Because time August, July comes around, we'll probably be selling them. And who knows what will happen in between now and then? You never can tell. What kind of craziness might go on. So, shit's cheap. You should buy right now.
That's a good point.
And then, I mean, you could put together. Think about it like this: I can sell them even through the shop, but not talking individually. Say I want to do it. Say I'm an entrepreneur and I want to do it legally. They get built. You spend $400 on one. Election year comes around, you sell them for $8,000. With a 4473 out the door out of a shop. So I mean, you're doubling your money or more every time.
Nice.
So I had 2 FFLs before I worked where I work now, and I had a CNR at the beginning and was trading and stuff a little bit, and then once that expired, I got a regular FFL and was kitchen table dealing, and that was in the heyday of surplus shit.
Yeah.
So I was getting, sometimes I would get like 20, 30 rifles a month come through. And
was this the 90s, early aughts?
No, this was early 2000s. Yeah, mid 2000s.
Yeah, about mid 2000s.
Yeah, when stuff was
right after the assault weapons ban went away.
When shit sunsetted, and the market was flooded with kits and surplus rifles, and yeah, I used to deal in all that shit, and big time. And
I can't. You're stuck. Review. There you are.
Can you hear me now? I think my connection.
I can hear you now.
Okay, my connection I think just went in and out. Sorry, it was me. But yeah, dude.
I blame Louisiana.
It probably is. Wi-Fi, ETL. But yeah. Every election year, I made a ton of money during the Obama times. I sold probably 2 dozen Wasser 10s. At some point I bought 2 at a pawn shop, and for like $500, and then turn around and sell them for $700.
Nice.
So I was like, literally I could sell every one of them I could get a hold of if I could get a good enough price on it. I was buying every one I could get. And the thing, I looted all the accessories out of the boxes during the panic. Kept all the mags, all the slings, bayonets, whatever. You got a mag and a gun. And people had no problem with that. sold all of them. And I've been dealing a long time in just assorted different ways. So that's just kind of my framework of where I'm coming from. I grew up my dad doing gun stuff and my dad, dickering with
You're a
people and
businessman.
dealing. I understand gun dealing. You know, I've I've had my own FFLs and now I'm basically running the company and running the store. My guy in retail he's a shrewd dealer. He's got 17 years of pawn shop experience. Shout out Mike. Awesome. But yeah, um, we're shrewd dealers. We just deal, dude.
What's
We're
your take?
we're in it
What's
for
your
the
take
money.
on?
That's my take on what?
What's your take on the state of FFLs for kitchen table dealers today?
You can still do it, but you need to have your shit right. And you need to not be like bullshit because it's a zero tolerance land out there. And they are shutting down kitchen table FFLs.
Yeah, I remember
If your
for
shit,
years they've been supposedly having a hard on for them.
I've been through several audits. I never had an audit personally when I was an FFL, but I've been through several big time company audits that took like a week each, and everything's fucked up and shut down for a week because we're dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
But they all turned out good. I've never had any major problems. You got to run a tight ship if you're a FFL. I've actually a weird thing I don't ever talk about is I've actually trained gun shops on how to do NFA stuff, how to do their books, how to do certain things. I've went in, helped friends, helped different gun shops and stuff, and taught them how the process on what you need to do and what you need to know. I've got another one coming up probably next week that I'm going to have to help, a new gun shop. It's going to be pretty cool. Kind of a cool shop, so you got to have your stuff right. You got to, if you don't know what you're doing wrong, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get pinged in an inspection. Everything has to be right.
If you could only have 3 guns, what 3 guns would they be?
Ooh, that's a hard one. It depends on the climate and where I'm living.
Solid. But what about where you're living now in Baton Rouge? Are you in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I'm outside of Baton Rouge. I live in Livingston area, Satsuma.
Okay.
Outside, I cross the Amite River. I have a 30-minute commute, but yeah, I can't live in the town of Baton Rouge. It's too stupid. Baton Rouge. There's a lot of cool things about Baton Rouge. There's a lot of bullshit too, though.
So if you could only have 3 guns now, living where you're living, what would they be?
Ooh. Dude, I don't know. That's a hard one. Can I have 4?
Sure, 4.
I'm trying to remember a time when I only had 3. I had to have been like 6. Because I've always had more than 3. Why would I only have 3? That's stupid.
It's just a fucking exercise. It's just a thought exercise, man.
That hurts my brain, dude. I want more than 3. Like, I just want that extra. I need 4. In Baton Rouge, I need a Glock 19. I need a suppressed 22 pistol, like a Browning Buckmark. That'd be cool. A fucking AR-15, like a match grade, 16-inch barrel, lightweight, with a 1x4 on it, probably a Trichicon reflex, and Then there's the hard one. It's between. Yeah, this is why I need 5. It's in between a 22 and a 12 gauge. Probably gonna take a threaded 22 instead of the 12 gauge. 12 gauge be real fucking useful though. That's a hard one.
Well,
but yeah.
So I'm gonna be chicken shit and be like, when I came up with that exercise, I was thinking, you could always those are the 3 or 5 guns you're starting out with. If you have to, you can acquire more as you go along.
That's just not enough guns, dude.
But like if it were me, my first thought would be a J-frame, because
I literally have 4 guns within arm's reach of me right now. 5 actually. I got a fucking Wrangler and a Smith over there, Glock over here, and some other bullshit. I mean, 4 guns. That's not enough. Not enough guns. Tell you, man.
So for me, the first thing would probably be a J-frame 38, because that's what I carry most of the time. Because I'm fucking lazy and it's easy to stick in my pocket.
I used one, dude. I carried one for like 11 years. I fucking put some wear on one. I like them.
And then the next one is hard, because my favorite gun is always going to be my 45, my 1991 that I've had since I was 17 years old, minus a couple of years after it was stolen, and then it finally came back to me.
You have a 1991 A1?
Yes.
I don't want to dig mine out right now, but I got a 1991 A1 Commander.
Dude, I want a 91 Commander to go with it so fucking bad it hurts.
I bought mine. That was the first handgun I bought myself. All right, I got me some High Life now. I'm slumming. Ran out of Guinness. But yeah, dude, bro, mine is completely customized. So I got a 1991 A1 in like 94. I bought it for myself with grocery store money. I was working. I paid $359 for it. Well, then after tax and shipping, it was $405 back then in the 94.
Yeah, I bought mine with hay hauling money at Market Hall Gun Show, and I had to use my dad to pay for it, right? Because I was 17.
All right, we're running out.
And it was like,
we're running out of time again. I'm going to restart this immediately, 1911s, okay?
Okay.
Give me about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to take a leak, and I'm going to immediately restart.
Okay.
All right. So you got your first 1911 hay baling money?
Hay baling money is 17 years old.
Fuck yeah.
And I guess that was 1996, I think. Yeah.
I had a Colt Python. I got a Colt Python first at 15. And then
fuck you. God damn it.
That was
my first gun was a Colt Python when I was 15. Fuck you.
It's like kind of like getting a Rolls Royce, like right off the. I'm a little biased sometimes because of shit like that. And then I saved my money up, and I wanted to buy a Glock 19, but my dad's like, "I won't order you no plastic piece of shit." And I'm like, they're fucking good. You're being retarded. And he's like, no, I ain't buying that plastic piece of shit.
This is the future, old man.
Yeah, I was defiant again. So I'm like, well, you won't let me have a Glock 19? Well, fuck it. You know what? I'll just get a Colt Commander. So,
I want a Colt 90.
Then I completely customized it. The whole thing, like I high polished blued it. I polished all the flats on it, dude. It has everything in it. But actually, it would shoot a one hole group with 25 yards out of the box and a ransom rest, with the factory barrel and bushing and everything.
Yeah.
Been throated, polished speed ramp, trigger, sear, grip safety. That's the first grip safety I ever fit. Was I fit a Ed Brown memory groove to it right when those came out. Like that was before every gun has them now. But that was like right when those came out.
Yeah.
I fitted one to it. Probably 95. I was a kid, dude. I was like,
Yeah,
and
I
there's
had that.
filing on it at 15, 16. I know, I was 16.
Well, I didn't I didn't do any of the work on it. I had, in fact, I don't know if I got. I remember I bought the beaver. It took me a while. I bought the beaver tail, uh, and the extended ambus safety because I thought growing up in the '90s, I thought you just had to have an ambus safety, a Wilson ambus safety.
I have a Ed Brown tactical ambi safety on mine, which is low profile.
Yeah.
I like it,
Well,
but
I like the extra pad
and a standard. Well, I don't like a huge safety. I like the more low profile ambies,
Yeah,
and then a standard slide stop. That's what I like. So
I like the extra space for my thumb on it. It just feels better to me. But and I had so it was a Wilson parts or Wilson hammer and Wilson beaver tail and ambi safety and a Wilson slide stop because I actually had to replace the slide stop because the first one, the factory one, just sheared off because I was just doing dry fire and reloading with it and fucking with it so much as a kid that it just sheared the fucking top of the slide stop off. The slide stop off. And then I got I swear to God it's titanium, but I'm told it can't be that titanium sort of gray Wilson slide stop.
no, it's not. It's probably stainless.
It's probably stainless.
Yeah.
And then when I finally years later when I finally got out of the army, it was 2000 and it was probably early 2006. I took it to a gunsmith, the gunsmith that works above Ray's Sporting Goods in Dallas. It's a famous gun store in Dallas.
I've heard of
it. And not one of the greatest parts of town, but it was close to my grandma. And I had the guy there put on 3-dot sights with the glowing in 3-dot glow in the dark Novak style sights. And the first time I shot it, the fucking front sight fell off, so I had to take it back. And then the only time I started to fuck with it was when I decided it was just a little loose. And the bushing was a little loose. So I was like, I could send this off to have it accurized. But I don't know that I'm that good enough of a shot to really warrant spending the money I didn't have. So I bought a Wilson barrel bushing and got some little files and slowly managed to fit the bushing to it. And that tightened my group up enough for me to not give a fuck about sending it off anywhere.
There you go. And you learned a new skill.
Yeah,
well, that's basically that's essentially what gunsmithing is.
Yeah.
So many people ask me, they're like, how do I get into gunsmithing? Do I go to an online school of gunsmithing and all this shit? And I'm just like, go to Tool and Die. Learn how to use a manual mill, a manual lathe, CNC stuff. Like, learn how to design parts, and then do project stuff on your own and work on stuff on your own. That's pretty much the way to do it.
Dude, that's what I wished I had done.
I'm not a CNC. I'm not a machinist. Not a CNC machine. I have very, very limited machinery skills.
Dude, I wish I had more machinist skills and knowledge and training because the machinists I know can fucking do anything they want to.
Right. My son is actually, he does CNC operating. So, I mean, he does that while he's working on animation stuff. It's pretty cool. I mean, so
yeah, that he's cooking with fire. He's going to be able to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Right. He has, like, I don't even think he understands how many skills he's stacked up yet. I don't think he's cashed in his skill level yet. Like, I think.
Oh no!
I think he's still building. I don't think he really realizes what he knows and what he.
What is he? You say he's 21?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's just a baby. He's just getting started.
But he's been doing CNC operating now for like 3 years.
That's fucking wild to me. I can barely spell CNC.
And then he's done a couple years of animation school, and he's doing like freelance work on that shit.
Is there anything he wants to do animation wise? Does he have any goals?
I mean, he's working in this internship right now that sometimes does like they just started taking their first paid commissions and stuff. And so he's been working on some of those projects and shit. And then they're starting to take some bigger name stuff. So actually the group of people he's with, which is actually from all over the world, really. I think it's going to end up turning into some kind of small independent like online studio. And so,
very cool.
And so he'll be part of that on the ground floor, and then he's still doing just whatever he wants to do with it. He's practicing with the internship that's turning into paid stuff, but he's honing his craft doing it. Like he's getting faster and faster and faster at it. Like he's a good kid, and I can tell he really cares about what he's doing. You know,
I assume he's a good artist as well. If he's studying animation,
well, he is a good artist with computers.
Oh, not necessarily drawn by hand.
No, but he can make a character on a computer screen that's animated that looks like a cartoon. You know,
huh? Fascinating.
That clicks with him. That's the kind of art that works with him. You know, different kind of art works with different people.
Yeah.
Art kind of runs in our family a little bit. Even my crazy mother was artistic, and I am.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that coming from a man in a room full of guitars.
My kids have it a bit too, though. They've got all their own little things they're doing. I just want them to do what makes them happy, and you know what they can do good at. But he's obsessed with it, which is why I know he's going to do good at it, because like he is completely obsessed with it. So what's been going on with you, Seth?
Not much, man. I've been fighting a freaking head cold, sickness, man flu for like 2 months. It feels like.
That's like I was telling you. Everybody knows sick except me.
And I've been working on a new book, Costa Verde Squeeze.
So so tell me the plot of Costa Verde Squeeze. I've been seeing your little teasers.
Unfortunately, I don't know how much of a plot there is. It's kind of chaos.
Maybe a quick.
So the original plot was a extraction job, is a hostage rescue sort of thing, and it had quickly morphed into these motherfuckers are just going to perform a coup in this Latin American country.
What country?
That's Costa Verde. It is a fictional Latin American
GTA country, Costa Verde. Gotcha. Sweet.
Yeah, it's a fictional.
I like that.
Latin American country.
We should start a petition for GTA 7 to be in Costa Verde.
Oh, dude, it'd be perfect. It'd be fucking perfect.
Costa Verde. That's going to be your media right there. Marketing. Hashtag Costa Verde Squeeze. And hashtag Costa Verde GTA 7. There you go.
It's a fictional it's a fictional Latin American sort of island chain. I'm still not exactly sure how many islands there are or how big they are.
Or if they're
so what?
Or if they're volcanoes. Or if they have volcanoes.
Oh yeah. Well, I feel like there's probably got to be a volcano, but
it Gulf of Mexico.
There's also ancient temples.
Or is it specific?
What now?
What region of the ocean?
Well, it's off the coast of Yucatan, so it's sort of
Pacific.
Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, Gulf. Never mind. Sorry.
Gulf of Mexico, maybe on the other side of the boot. I'm not sure yet. More close to the Atlantic. I'm not really sure.
So these are like some ghetto islands in the Gulf, kind of.
Yeah, and it's got
Sweet. That's kind of metal.
it's very multicultural. It's got a heavy population of Chinese immigrants that came over of Asian immigrants, primarily Chinese, that came over in the waves that came over everywhere else on this side of the world in the 1800s through like the 1950s or whatever. Uh, and a lot of people don't realize that Mexico had waves of both Chinese and Korean immigrants as far back as, you know.
You just froze.
I get to try to play with the I get to try to play with the fusion of sort of Afro Latin America and Spanish colonial and French colonial and
That's a neat, interesting mix. Cool.
yeah, it's a little busy. It's based probably as much on Belize as it is Cuba or Dominican Republic or anything like that. Um, it's interesting. I gotta unfuck it in a lot of ways because it's a little all over the place. Because I'm trying to come up with a whole sort of uh,
new landscape
and just a fictional history of a fictional country and its people. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun with that. Jeb, at this point in his life, it's almost 10 years after the last book, after the Battle of Dallas and Edge of the City. And he went from being a guy that was a contractor slash, I'm about to run out of power at 20%. Anyway, he's a professional gun hand. He got famous after Edge of the City. And because you don't, if you read Edge of the City, the last third of that book or whatever, it's just this giant, massive, rolling gunfight through Dallas. And someone pointed out to me, a friend of mine, he's not online much anymore, so I won't tag him, but it's like, there's no way you're going to go through that and not go to prison and not be famous. So his get out of jail free card sort of became being a sort of celebrity gunfighter, working for a sort of shadowy PMC, right? That is basically CIA backed.
Okay.
And I'm having fun with the concept of this guy that's like this. Also, the tech stuff has evolved so much in just the last 10 years with the drones. And I used drones in the last book. I'm pretty sure they got resupplied by drones in Edge of the City. So I need to go back and reread that. But there's a lot of drone stuff, and there's a lot of like, he's got a set of contacts that are high tech, and they give him a HUD, and they work in conjunction with the drones, and he can access the internet and stuff with just a flicker of his eye. He's got a little bit of a radar. He can flick on a radar if he wants to. Now, there's all sorts of problems with that tech too because it's imperfect. It may not pick up everybody. It may not pick up everything you need, and depending on the bad guys and what kind of electronic warfare they're running, there may be issues with that. So it's giving me a lot of options. But yeah, it's interesting. Jeb is older and more melancholy. He's less of a drunk, but he's somehow more angry and vicious.
It happens.
And but I'm enjoying writing it.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
But I'm such a fucking weirdo that I cannot like the only game I'm allowing video game. I don't know if you play video games. The only video game I'm allowing myself to play while I'm writing it is Far Cry 6, just to stay in. Is that vacuum cleaner bothering you?
No, I hear it.
Okay, good.
It's weird.
Well, I can hear it.
Anyways, you say Far Cry 6?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
Do you play video games?
Every once in a while, I love Fallout. I love all that stuff. I haven't even beat Fallout 4 yet because it takes me so long, and I haven't even got into Red Dead 2 because I have to.
Oh my God! Really?
I have to borrow time, dude. I have teenagers. I have to borrow game time from them or just buy my own system. And I've bought systems for all them, so I'm not buying my own. And so I'm so busy anyway, dude. I don't have time. Like, I'm home 3 or 4 hours, so it's time to go to bed and get up and do it all over again. So I got time to spend time with Stephanie, read a little bit, maybe get some guitar time in, and that's it. Done. So the time schedule for video games, it has to be like a break or a day off for me or something. Like, and then Sundays, I'm always booked up with guitar or band stuff. So, or Saturdays, I'm always doing family shit or grocery shop. I can't find the time. I know that sounds like old people shit, but I love playing.
Well,
like,
I
might play 3 or 4 times a year, maybe.
Well, if you like immersive stories that you're just going to get wrapped up in, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Witcher 3, I think, are the best video games ever made.
I don't know if us kids still have Witcher, but I know they have Red Dead 2.
Well, if they have it on, if they bought them online, I think they're always going to have them.
Well, they have like physical copies.
Well, anyway, but Far Cry is really good to just sort of veg out on and go, do some killing, have some fun, veg out.
Wild ass.
Yeah, reset.
Yeah.
I actually I appreciate Far Cry 6 the more I play it, but it's very monotonous and kind of tedious. It has fewer mandatory missions than Far Cry 5. Although Far Cry 5, except for the ending, is a far better story and a far better game. And being a 90s kid and a gun guy, and growing up a gun guy in the 90s, you would appreciate Far Cry 5. It's just like a slice of American Survival Guide. Dude, if you remember American Survival Guide.
Dude, bro, you mentioned that. I need to do some organizing in my garage because I got to build a reloading bench in there.
Dude, if you've got a shitload of American Survival Guide mags, I will buy them from you. I miss them.
I don't think I want to sell them, but I was in my garage not long ago.
Son of a bitch.
I found a big ass stash of American Survival Guide. One of them had a white cover with like a 7.5 inch like little kitty cat upper on the like AR on the front. I was like, ooh. It's such a bullshit magazine, dude.
Oh, dude, it was so great. It was so great.
But the best part, so fucking bad, but it was. Like,
I thought it was fun. I thought it was fucking awesome.
When you were young, it was cool for a minute, but that magazine's garbage, dude.
Dude, how dare you wash your mouth? That was soap. Oh my god!
I have the fucking copies to prove it. I'll put that shit online.
First off,
it's bullshit. It's a lot of the articles are just trying to sell a fucking sleeping bag or something. But
first off, there's no other magazine.
I'm fucking right, and you know I'm fucking
no
right.
Other magazine could you read about canning bear meat and germ warfare at the back to back.
True. You do. There was
Also,
that.
government conspiracies. But the best part of them, and next time you're in your garage, go and look and tell me I'm wrong, is the classifieds in the back.
Oh, dude, that's a wild ass shit back then, dude.
And it always starts out, the best ones always start out, currently incarcerated, political prisoner, seeking wife.
I don't even remember the want ads and that shit, dude.
Oh, it's fucking great. We used to love getting drunk and reading them. I used to work at a pizza joint, was a pizza boy in like 98, 99, 2000. And I would get off work and take the leftover pizza from the buffet, and my homeboys would get all the left. They worked at a chicken shop, and they would get all the chicken, and we would go to the cabin and link up and get shithouse drunk and eat fucking pizza and chicken and read American Survival Guide, talking about yeah, Y2K is gonna fucking it's gonna be some shit. Like I held off joining the army, hoping Y2K would kick off.
Where were you at Y2K? What were you doing?
I was hanging out with my girlfriend and her sister, maybe out at that cabin.
You getting over both of them?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, she her sister was cool and just hung out with us just
all right.
because we had we had fucking booze. But yeah, no, I oh, that was a good time.
I had a quiet New Year's evening. Actually, it was me and my wife. Sorry, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, internet connection skipped a minute. It was me and my wife.
Well, like we
what?
We may have to end this soon because I don't know how much juice I got left.
We're gonna wrap this up really quick. So it's me and my wife, and we had a couple bottles of wine, probably some Boones or something. We were dating, in college, and we just fucked and had a good fucking hung out in my apartment, drinking and having sex and shit was great. I had some just in case I was a little worried at the time. I was a college student, hanging out at Ole Miss and having fun. But I did have a fucking AR-15, an M1 carbine, a semi-auto 20-gauge shotgun, some other crap, and some pistols and shit, in case. And a bunch of extra food and beans and shit, I was driving a fucking...
You know what? Real quick before...
What? Yeah, we're about to run out of
Real
juice.
quick before we have to wrap it up.
So, we got to do this again. This is absolutely great, by the way.
So what?
I said we have to do this again. It's absolutely great.
Absolutely.
Segments of us talking, it's fucking internet gold.
I saw. It seems like the past year or so, the Mini 14 has been trying to have some sort of weird little resurgence.
I'm not convinced on that.
I'm not convinced that it's trying to have a resurgence, or not convinced that it's fucking worthwhile.
Either. The 12-year-old in me likes them. The 6-year-old in me likes them, but the grown-up in me wants to slap them.
Like I want one because it was one of the guns I learned on, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I'm smart enough to. I don't know if I'm smart enough to fix this if it breaks.
I could fix one, but I don't want to fuck with them because they fucking suck. When that Samson 5-folder stock came out, I was like, ooh, I can get the Mini 14 and put it in the A-Team stock like I enjoyed when I was a kid. I'm like, Dennis, you're being a fucking retard. Get the 10-20. You can afford to shoot that, and it's not a stupid Mini fucking 14. So yeah, that's my opinion on that shit. All right, man. Let's wrap this up, man. Let's see. My connection's about to go out too, but yeah, bro, this has been fun. We're gonna have to do this again. And tell everybody
Yeah, I
where to
got
hook
to
up
throw
with
a
you.
shout out.
Do all your shouts out. Where can people follow you and hook up with you and get your stuff and look at your writing?
They can follow me. They can follow me at Seth Henderson Bailey on Facebook, SA Bailey Project on Facebook, on Instagram. My Patreon is the SA Bailey Project. Also, also, if anybody wants one of these with a retention ring, you can go to retentionring.com. I believe these are up now. And if you use code BBJ, you get 10% off. But you get 10% off everything at Retention Ring with code BBJ. But I'm a real fan of these Zeta 6 loaders. Like I've been impressed with these. So, and wanted to throw a shout out to them. And that's about my book. My books are on Amazon. The first one is only in electronic format right now. I've been talking about unfucking the format for like 10 years. I don't know when I'm going to get around to it. I got so much to say, Grace, so we're just trying to finish the book I'm working on.
You got it, man. You got it. It'll be awesome. All right, man. So, running out of time, let's wrap this up. And, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It was a sound issue for a second there. It's retarded. Sorry. Love you, bro. We're gonna do this again.
Love you, Bubba.
It's been great. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being on it. First episode.
Thank you for having me, Bubba.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. All right. Later, man.
Later, Bubba. Much love.